interview 80,000 customers, and this is the result they get. What happens is they have a question. It's a multiple choice question. 他们一个提问，选择题。And they ask customer, how did you choose your supplier? 你是怎么选择你的供应商 Right, so and they have a list of answers. You got salesperson, product, quality, brand, price, and so on. So you just take one. 39% of people ticked salespeople. And it's easy to understand because if you're competing with people of similar category, 如果你是跟同级别的这个竞争对手在对比 your price may have a difference, but the difference is not going to be big. Your quality or your functionality of your products may have a difference. 你那个产品可能的一些功能质量会有一些就是区别 but the difference is not going to be big. Your service may have a difference, but the difference is not going to be big. The only key variable is the salesperson. And customers are always thinking, can I trust this person? If something were to go wrong, can this person save me? Before the sale, if I need some advice, and I need some insights, can this person give me something that is more objective? 我需要一些建议，我需要一些见解。这个销售人可不可以就是给我稍微比较客观一点的一些建议？ Right, so this makes the customers decide that since if whoever I choose is about the same, can I just choose the salesperson because the products are more or less similar, right? So this is the reason behind it. Now we talk about the qualities of salespeople. So you combine things with what's happening in VUCA, and this is what we need to do. Competencies of VUCA salesperson. Number one, you need to think and respond independently, right? More and more, we need salespeople to be able to make on-the-spot decisions. Why? Because things are changing very fast, right? So yesterday, I was doing a similar presentation for another German company in industrial products. They are saying in the past, their salespeople, if they want to make a decision, they have to write into Germany. They have to email to Germany. And then there is time differences. And then the guys in headquarters will need to think and analyze and come back with an answer 2 weeks later. Right? This is the actual words. Right? So, we're not able to live or survive in that kind of situation. You need to have salespeople who are able, as in they're well trained, they know what to do, they can make the right decisions, and then able to think and respond independently. Right? So this is just one key thing. You need salespeople to be able to make just to use and seek out available resources. And what this meant is this. You know, the difference between a good salesperson and a great salesperson is not the selling skills. 就好的销售跟那个卓越的销售的区别，不是谁的销售技巧更好。That's not the skills, right? The good salesperson can handle external customers just as well as the great salesperson, same skills level. The great salesperson can handle external customers and can also coordinate with internal colleagues. 就好，就卓越的销售，就除了能搞定外部的这个客户，也能搞定内部的同事。Right? So it's about how you are able to make use and seek out. You don't wait for resources to come to you. You actually go out, not go out, but go to different departments and talk to people and network and use available resources. Right? So this is more and more that's needed. Why? Because again, as salespeople, you cannot just sit and wait for your boss to give you the resources. Why? Because the boss doesn't even know what resources to give. It's a VUCA world. It's uncertainty. It's volatile. No one knows what's going on. You are facing the customer. You have the first-hand information of what needs to be done. Right? No one is going to service you, not because they don't like you, but because they don't really know what to give you. They don't know what's going on. You know what's going on, so you need to go and seek out the resources that is needed. You need to talk to people, you need to persuade people, right? And along with all this, you probably will need to communicate closely with customers and internal colleagues. Right? So it's more, there needs to be more closer communication. Whether it's face-to-face, WeChat, or other means, more closer communication. With all this communication, the strange thing is we need salespeople to have more empathy. And one key thing about empathy is, can you tell what people are thinking beyond what they are saying? 就同理心的一个维度，是怎么去衡量的？你如果能够了解对方在想什么，就是多过他在说什么，那就很强烈的同理心。对方的一些表达方式，他的一些情感，通过他的一些就是面部表情，还是他的一些就是一些思绪，你能够猜到他想什么，就是一个同理心的一个境界。So can you find out what people are really thinking? Can you also take care of? Over here is you seek out available resources, but no one owes you a living. 我们是说要找到这个利用和寻找这可用的资源，但人家不是欠你的。So you need to persuade people. You need to think about what are the constraints, what are the difficulties, how to make them want to work with you. So there's a lot of persuasion, there's a lot of empathy involved in working internally and externally. You also, because you need to understand business acumen, you need to understand business results, so you need to have a strong business acumen. You need to know what is profitable for your company. 你要知道，我们卖任何东西，你的定价、你的打包各个方面，对自己来说是不是挣钱，是不是合算？ Right? You need to know your own business situation. Are you profitable? You also need to know what are some of your customers' business results that you need to deliver. Right? So this is business acumen. Now, there is also a need for in-depth technical awareness. Not only business results, if you are in technical sales, you still need to know the technical results. You may not be technically trained, but you must be able to talk about the technical results. 你虽然可能不是那个什么技术背景出身，但你要有能够就是跟那个什么跟客户做这个技术方面的一些沟通。So it's an expanded thing. We're expecting salespeople to do more. So with that, we'd like to do an activity. There are 4 phases of selling. In some texts there are 6 phases. Over here we just condense the 4 phases. 做任何的这个销售，基本上就是有4个主要的阶段。有些的这个过去有些就是原理说有6个阶段，我们可以就是把它就是整合到4个阶段。So which are the 4 phases? Now, one is when I'm prospecting or preparing for customers. 我们在就是找寻新客户的时候，或者在为客户做准备的时候 ，this is the first phase. Before you see the customer, what should you do? Which includes the prospecting, 找寻新客户. So that's number 1. Now you find a customer, and then you will meet the customer. Not just the first meeting, but every single meeting. So when you are meeting with customers, what do you do? The third one is when I'm following through with customers, what do you do? Right? Number 4 is when you're negotiating, talk about price and so on, handling objections, what do you do? So these are the 4 phases of most B2B selling. There could be more, but these are the most commonly seen 4 phases. 可能有其他方面的一些额外的一些分支，但这些是最基本的一些、最常见、最基本的这个4个阶段。Now the question is, what do you think are some of the good behaviors or great behaviors in these 4 steps? 我们每一个阶段，如果说要了解哪些行为，哪些就是销售人员的一些必备的一些行为，才叫做就是把这个每个阶段做得比较好。Okay, let's start with the first one. When you're prospecting customers, what do you think you need to do a good job when prospecting?
Finding you can offer the largest value to.
Finding the best value customer? How do you define the best value customer? Does it mean that if the customer is rich, has got lots of cash, lots of money to spend, that will be a good customer. Does it mean that? 所以说有钱的客户就是好客户的。
I consider what do I have to offer versus what customers do I feel have the greatest need or desire for what I have to offer.
Okay, the need. Does the customer have meet your needs? What else?
Well, more importantly,
So,
I consider do I meet the
jump this?
customer's needs first. I think from that perspective.
Right. So there are certain things. The first one is: are you actually doing enough prospecting? All right. You want to find new customers. Are you doing enough there? Remember, we're in the state of VUCA, right? Old customers may not be your customers anymore, so you need to keep on finding. Now, even if you are in account management, 就算你是在维护大客户、维护老客户 old customers, are you finding enough new opportunities within old customers? 你这个客户有没有做尽、做足 Right. So this is it, because again, it's a state of VUCA. Customers may also have new needs. Old customers may have new needs. So are you really digging enough information? One is to find new ones. The other one is to dig into old ones. Number two, if you are planning to visit customers, do I let customer know the value of my visit? What do I mean by that? Customers, the people that we want to meet generally are going to be people who are very busy. 通常我们要找人都是忙的。When they're very busy, they'll think about, should I give my half an hour, 1 hour to you, or should I do something else? 客户如果你找人都是忙的人，他会考虑就是说，我这半小时、1个小时要给你，还是要做其他事情？因为我很忙。Right? So, can you justify the value, not just your products, not just your company, but the visit itself? How is it valuable to the customer? And this is where the insights come into. Right? Customers want to know, okay, now I'm giving you time. What can I learn? What is it that you can tell me that I don't know but would like to know? This is the value of the visit. And we talk about qualifying. Who do I qualify? Who do I qualify first? Whom I should or should not meet? What kinds of customers? Right? And in terms of customer, if you want to qualify customer, if you want to qualify customer, there are 3 things to qualify. Someone mentioned, Jason mentioned about, does the customer have budget? Right? Kurt mentioned the second thing. Do you have a need? Right? As in, do you have the need that I can provide? If you have lots of money, but you don't have the need for what I'm selling, you're not going to buy. Right? What else? 还有什么呢? We're in China, right? We want to do selling. We want to sell to businesses. We want to sell to corporates. What else is important? Information. Understanding. 国内啊，销售啊，最喜欢用的一句话 ，relationship。哎呀 Do you have the right relationship? Now, we don't want to think too deeply into a relationship. It's very simple. The basis of all relationship is trust. 所有的那个关系的最基础都信任。Right? It can be done over you buy drinks, you buy meals. It can be done over you prove yourself to be more reliable to the customer. There are different ways, but the basis of the relationship is trust, mutual trust. 就是你有任何的这个关系的这个基础，就是你相互是不是相互信任。Okay. What else? One more thing. These 3 are the core, right? If the customer has got budget, you have good relationship, but there's no need, there's still no sale. The customer has got budget, have a need, but you don't have a relationship, you can make a sale, but it's going to be difficult. Customer has got a need, has got good relationship, but no money, you can make a small sale, not a big one. Okay, my idea. Right, so these are the 3 core. One more thing is plus one more. potential 潜力，什么叫潜力 ？Customer buys, I don't know, 10,000 RMB, very small this year, but next year they double to 20,000. The next year they triple to what we call 60,000, right, and so on. So can the customer actually grow with you? So it's called potential, right? You can sell to the customer without potential. You still get a deal this year, right? Next year maybe they buy less, but they're still a customer. But on the other hand, if you get a customer with good potential, great, because the customer will grow, right? So this is some of the things. If you want to qualify, these are the 4 main criteria: the need, the budget, the relationship, and possibly the potential. And more importantly, with salespeople, do I prepare my questions before I see them? Right? We always say in almost every sales training, 在几乎所有的这些销售培训 almost every sales training will emphasize you need to ask questions. 所有的销售培训都说你要提问，要提问，要提问。But what if you ask questions and customers don't answer? 你问了，然后客户不答。Right? And why don't they answer? Because you didn't think about what could be their answer and how do you come up with a follow-up answer. Just to give an example. Salespeople usually like to have the customer say something bad about their current supplier. 销售都希望就是客户对他目前的这个供应商有所怨言。Right? So we want to lay a trap for the customer. 你要套这个客户的话，就挖个坑。Right? So what we do is we ask the customer, so how is the supplier doing? How is the current supplier doing? 我们就问客户，你们目前的供应商做得怎么样？ And guess what the customer will say? 还好，还行，还可以。Right? Great. They're doing okay. They're doing fine. Right? So this is what? A predictable question with a very predictable answer, even in VUCA, right? You know what a customer will say. Another thing is about the planning is how do you plan for a follow-up question? You know when you ask this will be the answer you'll be getting. So you got to think about 2 steps ahead. What is the next question? Right? The next question can be you ask the customer, so if you want your current supplier to do something better for you, what are some ways that they can improve for you? 你多一个后续的一个提问，可以是什么？如果你要你现在目前的这个供应商给你做得更好，他们哪些方面可以改善？ Right, so that's a follow-up. Now, why do we ask customers why their current suppliers can improve? 为什么我们问客户他们目前供应商哪方面可以改善？可以做得更好。Why do we ask that?
You build that into your proposition.
Anything that can be improved is not good enough, right? If you ask the customer, now which areas are they not good enough? They'll say, oh, they're still very good. They're all very good. 他没什么不好，都好 right? So we kind of try to change it. Will it work all the time? Maybe, maybe not. But the thing I'm getting is, do you think about what could be the possible answer, and what could be your follow-up question? And it needs a bit of planning, right? And one thing that salespeople usually don't do is to plan, right? You don't need to plan 3 days, 3 nights for that. 你不用花3天3夜来做这样子一个计划， right? You can even plan if you. I mean, this is not best practice, but if you really don't have time, you can plan on the way to see the customer. 在路上也可以做计划呀，你反正要堵在路上。 Right, so it's about thinking through what questions are you going to do before your visit. So
I would argue, CJ, that the value of planning actually, the hidden value of planning is that it shifts the salesperson's mindset towards focusing on that specific customer's needs.
Yes.
Right, it's less about an if-then proposition of, well, if he says this, then I'll say this, and if he says this, but more or less to try to put yourself into the client's mindset. Yes, which goes into the next step. When you are meeting with the customer, what do you think are some important things that salespeople need to do when you are meeting with customers? Any meeting, not just the first meeting, but any meeting. 一个销售会议，你跟客户见面是 Be on time.
Be on time. What else? It's okay in China if you are late by 15 minutes. It's okay. What else? Some things we can think about here. Again, these are recommended answers. We're not saying these are the full answers. We're also not saying that only these are the correct answers. Right? These are just something that we think are sensible things to do. So when you're meeting with customers, do you have a purposeful opening, and do you have a good closing? Let me explain. What do I mean by purposeful opening? Now, when you meet up with customers, especially in China, you tend to ask the customer, what did you do this weekend? Wow, your factory is very big. Wow, you have great, your security is very tight. 你的那个门卫管很严。
Your car is very nice.
Your car is very nice. Right, and these are okay. We're not saying don't do this, do this. So I mean, these are things that you build rapport, right? 这是你的铺垫，你就培养你的那个默契。It's fine. The opening is when you are about to talk the real business. 你前面有铺垫嘛，就是说吃饱没有？Have you had lunch? Those are polite talk, right? 就拉家常的一些话。Do that. Then you need to go into talking about business. Now, before you actually talking about business, you need to have some kind of opening. 你要有一个切入点，有一个开头， and that opening needs to be purposeful. You need to tell the customer exactly what we would like to talk about, exactly what we like to discuss about today. Why? Because the customer is busy. 客户是很忙的. They see you not to talk about lunch, not to talk about their nice car. They want to know something that they don't know, but maybe you can tell them. So you need to tell them, okay, today this is something that we want to talk about. Is it okay that we talk about that? That's a purpose of framing the purpose of the meeting, and it has to be framed in a way that it benefits the customer. Yeah, that's ending. The closing is when you are about to end. Now, if you had a good meeting with the customer, 跟客户开会开得很好，大家都谈得畅谈很开心。然后呢？ You had a good meeting, and then what? And then you tell the customer, thank you for your time, and then you go home and the customer go back to work. Is that it? No, two things you need to do. One, you need to summarize what are the key points. You may have discussed a lot of things, but what are the things that are important to the customer? Summarize first. Number two, in B2B selling, if you are able to see the customer the next time, you are in the game. If you are not able to see the customer the next time, you are out of the game, right? 如果你下一次能够见到客户，你就有戏；你下一次见不到客户，你就没戏， right? If the customer tells you, you have a great product, we really love you. If we have a need, we will call you. What does it mean? 你们产品很好，我很喜欢。如果我们有需求的话，我们一定会给你电话。 What does it mean? You're gone. You're out of the game, right? They don't want to see you anymore, right? So the closing part is to think about what do we do next? 我们下一步该怎么做? You will actually get the next meeting in this meeting. 你这一次跟见了客户的这结尾就是你有没有办法再约下一次? Right? The earlier you do it, it guarantees you to be in the game. So you can tell, okay, so next time shall we bring my boss to see your boss for lunch? Shall we do a demo for you? Shall you come to our company? Shall I bring a technical guy to you? Whatever. Whatever that is, you need to suggest to the customer what's the next step. Number two, are you curious enough to find out what the customer is thinking? So that's to your point, Kurt, about focus on the customer. What is it that you would like to find out about the customer, about the business, about what they do, why they do what they do? Right? Think about what's the business future. Why are they in this business? What's important to them? Okay, so this is being curious about the customer. 对客户有一种好奇心。The third one is, again, this is from some feedback. What do customers hate? Customers actually hate presentations. 客户讨厌就是销售跟他们做这个陈述。Customers want a conversation. They want two-way communication. Right? So are you keep on talking and never stop, or are you allowing the customer to have a two-way communication? Now the focus is two-way communication. It also doesn't mean that the customer talk all the time. It's two-way. The customers talk, you ask a few questions, you share some of the things. Customers may also ask you questions, you answer some questions, and ask more questions again. So it's a two-way. It's not one way of either way. It's two-way communication, right? When you are, the third part, when you are following through, we know that there are more people involved, so when you're following through, do I actively find out who else in the customer's organization will be involved? 没有办法找到这事，除了这个对面这个人，还有谁会参与这个决策？ That's something you need to find out either directly or indirectly, in a nice way, right? Am I able to sustain interest? Typical cycle, sales cycle for industrial products, 工业品的这个销售周期大概多长 ？How long does it take from the moment you see the customer to the point where the customer buys? It's very different. It can range from 6 months to like 3 years. 就可以半年到3年。Right? It can be a long time. So it's going to be a long time. How do you then sustain interest? Will the customer after 1 year say, okay, I'll get tired of seeing you and get no interest? So are you able to keep on coming with some things, do demos, new products, new needs, something to talk about and sustain interest? Maybe not with the same person, maybe with different people within the organization. Keep them interested throughout the whole cycle, right? Can I network and develop relationships with the right people to progress sale? Can I get to know who these people are and also develop more relationship with internal people? Do I have a pulse over what they could be changing in the foreseeable future? Right, this part is, what if there's a new project and that project takes away the budget from your project? Would that be a potential risk? Or for better news, do they have some emerging new needs that they don't know as yet, you don't know as yet, it's something that you found out? 他们有没有一些潜在需求? So why emerging needs? Sometimes we are being asked to give proposals, quotations, to give bids. 我们有时候会被邀请去这个什么竞标，与其说是竞标，不如说是什么陪标。Right? Sometimes it has to be the second or third bid, right? They need 3 quotations. How do you know it's a how do you know it's a case where you're just a second or third bid? Usually, it's a big deal. 就是这个单子很大 from a customer that you have not done business with. You may know the customer, but you have not done business with, and they ask you to respond within 3 days. 一个是这客户你没合作过，第二呢单子很大，第三呢3天内要给这个回复。Right? By the time when the customer asks for that quote, it's too late. The people that win those deals usually come in the very beginning. They know about the deal. They become the preferred vendor. The RFP itself, 那个RFP 本身那个招标通知 is written in a way that it is beneficial. It is phrase that it's favorable to that vendor, right, and not favorable to others. So this is about, are you in the game really, really early? Right? So these are some things when you're following through. And last but not least, when you're negotiating, right? Why do salespeople tend to be very soft when it comes to pricing? 为什么销售就是在价格的时候就很那个比较就没底了，没底线了？